Hello, bonjour. Welcome to Pardon Our French with Quincy and Justine. It has been rainy times in Paris.
For about 2 weeks straight. Today we saw the sun for the first time.
I believe it will be gone tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it this afternoon and then it started raining. So it's
It rained today?
Yes. It was raining when I was on my way to yoga.
I've been inside.
So it's already gone. But last week, or like this, I guess now last week, we did have a couple beautiful little rainbows, which were nice.
I didn't see them because I was in London.
Poor you. poor Justine. In London.
In London.
Tell us about it.
You've heard me speak about Elora, who is a best friend of mine from college. And she used to live with me in Paris, like for 3 months at a time, 3 separate times. And she is now moved to England with other friends, her childhood friends, and her husband.
So you're visiting them.
Yes. And so it was her friend, who is now also my friend, birthday on Halloween. So I took the week off and I went over to London town to pay them a visit. And it was really nice. It felt like the first time I was in London doing like half touristy, half just normal, regular things, which was cool.
Yeah.
The first day, it was her birthday, or it was our friend's birthday, so we went with her to get like nails done, get ears pierced. Not mine. And then she got her hair done, and Elora and I went to get a coffee, and then we got ready for dinner, and we went to this place called Bob Ricard.
Okay.
Bob Ricard. That's really
I'll just
hard.
take your word for that.
And it was really cool. It was like super like dark, low exposure vibey, like
ooh, I love that.
Art Deco, like Great Gatsby vibes. And the best part is that at every table, though we were in their private room for the birthday,
wow,
there is a button for champagne.
So oh my God.
You can press a button at any time and they will bring you a glass of champagne.
That's goals.
They're like lower tier champagne there is Moët and Chandon.
The low tier?
Yes. And the high tier is Dom Perignon. So
okay.
If that gives you an idea on the vibes of the place.
Did it remind you of Les Bains?
A little bit.
Because that's like low lighting vibes as well. And they also serve their spritzes with Moët.
Yes. Yes. Similar vibes. Except this one was like very Art Deco and like maximalist, I will say. But absolutely.
Okay.
Same vibe, same price range.
Yes. Yes.
But thankfully and like so nice, it was all paid for her birthday. So
wow.
I got lucky for that.
That's quite nice.
So yeah, that was a great day. We shopped around to Regent Street. And the next day we did a little bit of morning shopping, got some coffee. And then our friend had a surprise planned for us, and she took us to the London Dungeons. That's really hard to say.
London Dungeon. Say that 12 times.
God.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. London Dungeon.
The London Dungeons, which I was skeptical about, I must say.
Are these literally just dungeons?
No, that would have been really cool.
This is like Catacombs 2.0.
No. I feel like it's a different vibe. I'd be so curious to visit the actual Tower of London dungeons because that's where they like had real prisoners.
Okay.
And they have like a tour. I'm pretty sure they do have a tour there. But no, this one is by the London Eye. It's right next to Shrek's Great Adventure or something like that, which is why I was skeptical because I was like, what am I getting myself into? It was actually super cool. Like
what is it though?
So let me tell you.
I'm still out. I'm out in the cold. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you walk in and it's like super dark. And first of all, I think I am legally blind in the dark. It has been confirmed. I literally cannot see if the lights are dimmed. But basically you come in, there are all these actors. So they're acting as though they're in the olden days. And like we are all traitors to the king. King Henry VIII. And so they're like, oh, move, traitors, blah, 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 whatever. We're going to take you to the Tower of London. It's like all like...
It's like live action that you're walking through.
Yes.
Like in that episode of Gossip Girl, they did that.
I did not see that, but probably yes.
Yeah, okay. I think that would creep me out.
So it is a little bit creepy. They definitely
is it interactive?
Scare you. Yeah.
I hate that.
It was so cool. No masks were worn. Don't worry. So anyway, you go through They take you down this like really freaky elevator where they make you feel like the electricity is going out, or not electricity, but like,
How fun.
you know, it was very cool. And then you go into these little boats and you're like going through
What?
the sewers.
You're shitting me right now.
No,
This is
I'm
not real.
There's little boats and you go through the sewers, fake sewers, huh? But they are like makeshift with like rats and shit. And
This
then
is supposed to be fun?
it was so fun. And then you go backwards, which was a twist, might I add. Did not expect that. Backwards downhill. So you're like, you know. And
do you have any footage of this?
I really wish it's illegal to do that. So.
Oh my God.
And then you get out and
I've never heard of this.
It goes
in my
through
entire
different
life.
like, not time periods, but different kind of like history things and stories. So you go through, you know, the beheading of Anne Boleyn.
Ooh, okay.
How they had to like pay an executioner from France to come execute her for the best and sharpest blade.
Oh, of course, are the French coming from the French?
For real. And then there's like a torture chamber. So they showed us like different torture tools that they used to use. I don't know if I should say this. I told Jean about it.
What?
Maybe I just let you guys search it yourself. It's called a pear. And that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I think I know what that is. Oh, no.
And the only other thing I'm going to say is that they don't wash it in between. Anyways,
oh, God.
So there's that. It's interactive in the way that like they do select people in the crowd.
Oh, I hate that.
So like Elora got locked up in a cage.
What?
And then our other
please
friend,
never take me to this. I swear to God.
Lucy would love it.
Oh my God.
And then our other friend had to be like the demonstrator for all the torture things. Like there's like this penis chopper. Like it's very interesting. And then you go to.
I know you can't see me right now, but my mouth is agape.
Yes, it is. And then there's like the bubonic plague and this creepy doctor and how they did like weird experiments on people. And they do spray you with water,
what?
Making you think it's blood. And that was freaky. Did not like that.
So you all came out wet.
Well, no, like spritzes, you know? He would like cut an artery and it'd go and like spray you.
I guess Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Fits
it
the
talks
bill.
about like in Sweeney Todd, Mrs. Lovett, meat pies. And then you go into like Sweeney Todd's barber. And then there's Jack the Ripper. And
I know Jack the Ripper.
yeah, I don't remember
Serial
what else.
killer.
Yes, serial killer. And then there's, the witch trials. There's also like a judgment room where you would be judged for doing like stupid shit. I was like, I can't believe people were hung for this stuff.
What, for being like a woman with a thought?
Yeah,
Basically.
pretty much. This woman was judged for being a witch because she was walking alone at midnight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So basically.
So there was that. And then there's a tiny little ride at the end where you're like you're getting hung. So like you're in this little thing and they like drop you the amount of meters it would be if you actually were hung.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was wild. And it was like an hour and a half long. Like it was a long experience.
Crazy.
It was probably the highlight of my trip.
Do they do this all the year round?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was super cool.
Oh my
I
God.
love, learning about that kind of history and things like that. And then we saw Wicked, which was amazing.
Oh, I love Wicked.
And then we went to their little town of Stroud. Well, it's like near Stroud, and it looks like a little Stars Hollow, super cute little English town, like small village where people know each other. And it was very fall, like the hills were covered in like beautiful trees, and the foliage was like all yellow and red.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it was a very nice trip. It was
It sounds
needed,
incredible.
and I'm very happy I went. It was a rude awakening at work today, but no, it was a really nice week.
Meanwhile, I was here in Paris, and on my way to the grocery store, this little boy appeared in a mask like way too close to my body, and I shrieked out loud. I was with Lucy, and I like literally ran away into the store. That was
Quincy hates people in masks or like full body costumes.
It's just it was a no.
It was a no from me.
Also, just like it was just like all of a sudden he appeared, and he was like he was like in my personal space, and that is like what really freaked me out. And then like once I registered the mask, I was like, ah! It was just really, it was not.
Children just don't know what a personal bubble is.
And that's why I was like, who let this child out here? Like, where is its parents?
Where is its
I don't know. Who does it belong to?
Oh
It was terrorizing people. And I was one of them. And then like everyone was staring at me, whatever. Anyways.
It's a real fear. I get it.
It is a real fear.
I cry at the sight of submarines, though, can't really say anything.
Justine doesn't like it when man-made things are in the water.
It's called submechanophobia. It is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's
so.
Anyways.
But yeah, on Friday night, I went out and got ramen for the first time ever.
Quincy is expanding her palate.
I have an excuse for having not tried ramen before. It's that up until I was 18, I never was able to eat a lot of different foods because I was deathly allergic to peanuts. Now I am not. So I'm slowly but surely discovering all these different cuisines. So we went to Rue Sainte-Anne, which is a great street if you want to try out different Asian cuisines. They have just tons of places right around there. And I ate some and kept eating and kept eating and kept eating. And then it kept looking like I hadn't eaten anything out of this bowl that was like a never-ending cornucopia full of ramen. I don't know if I would go back.
My week, I ate ramen.
What else did I do, though? I didn't do anything.
You went out on Saturday.
I went out on Saturday. Well, since you were gone, my weekend was rather dull.
Aw,
I was like, where's Justine? I guess I went out to dinner on Friday night, and then Saturday, Lucy and I went to Les Bains. We did the usual couple hours at the bar, then go downstairs to the club area, and then kind of just meander home, chill night. It's so easy because it's like 15 minutes away.
It's so close.
Which is quite nice. It was so funny, though, when we were getting our coats from the vestiaire.
Oh, you checked in this time.
Oh, yeah, because it was cold and rainy, and so we wanted to bring extra stuff to, and this guy behind us said the most French thing I've heard in so long, and in the most French intonation as well. So these, not us, but these people in front of us were taking forever because they didn't have their ticket or whatever. And so this guy behind us, he's sort of under his breath, and he's like, "Putain, dégagez-vous, hein?" And we were just like cracking up.
Which means, fuck, can you fucking move?
Get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Putain, dégagez-vous, hein?
Yeah,
it was so funny. I was laughing about it for quite a while.
It's just like, it doesn't hit the same when you like repeat it. Like, when you hear it firsthand, you're just like, I'm dead.
So
dead.
Good. I literally was laughing about it for 10 minutes.
Which, can I say that English people are way nicer than French people? I had like 10 people ask if I needed help with my bag.
Really?
And let me tell you that when I was in the fucking metro to get to the the station in Paris, not a soul.
Oh,
nobody moved. Not even, like, I was trying to get in the metro. Nobody moved. I was like, I have a fucking 100-pound bag here. Like, I will roll over your feet. And then in freaking England, they're like, would you like some help, love? Like, oh you God. Sure? Can't give you a hand. I'm just like, yes, you can, please.
I would just say no anyways, because I
did say no.
chronically like self-sufficient.
Yeah, I did say no, but it was nice.
Yeah, so this week, I mean, it was a nice week last week because we had the Wednesday off. It was a Toussaint, All Saints Day. I literally, like, on Tuesday night, I was saying goodbye to a coworker, and this is on Tuesday, mind you, and she goes, "See you Monday." Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're taking the whole, to Wednesday through, okay.
Yep.
Just as they say, faire le pont.
Yeah.
To make the bridge between the holiday and the weekend. She really,
All of my coworkers did that too. I feel like nobody from our team was at work last week.
Yeah. So, but I just, on Wednesday, I stayed home. It was raining, of course. So I was like, I didn't really want to go out. And then, the things I did want to do, all the stores were closed because it was a holiday. So
oh, right.
It's kind of difficile à faire, whatever. Yeah. So instead, I stayed home. I did a deep clean of my bathroom and all my cleaning, all my makeup products and stuff like that.
Dang.
All my drawers, Just
proud of you. That's very, very productive.
Just put on my 17-hour-long Taylor Swift playlist and just dug in.
Well, speaking of doing activities in the rain in Paris.
Yes.
When it's not a holiday or maybe a Sunday, because things are closed on Sundays, by the way, we kind of made a list of things that you could do in the rain that aren't the obvious museum, if you will.
Because it is raining quite often
Yes.
in Paris. So it's good to have some things in mind if you are not able to, go to the gardens and be walking around outside as your activity. So,
Well, if you find yourself in an afternoon and it's raining, something that you might want to do is a high tea or just a cafe in the afternoon. It's called high tea. It's whatever you want it to be. It's just, a
high hot
goûter.
chocolate.
And there are two renowned places in Paris, Angelina and Café Carrette. Both of those are more on the bougie side. So,
And then if you don't want to go to a high tea, if you just want to go to like a regular tea or
Yes.
like a coffee, you can go to some really great coffee shops. Our favorite is in the second. It's called Le Fleur. That's Floor, not to be
Yes.
confused with Café de Fleur. And what else? What other little coffee shops are there?
There's Buddy Buddy, which is in the 10th, and they specialize in nut butters.
Ooh.
It's very, very nice. It's very rich. They also do specialty coffee as well if you're not into like flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super cute, very like modern.
Okay.
There's Recto Verso, which is in
I've
the
never
second
been there.
or in the third. Yeah, it's very cute as well. It's a little bit smaller, but it's super cozy. Like everything is like wood. It's a very cozy vibe. And I think we should probably add a little list with all of our coffee shop recommendations
Yes, we will
because I
do that.
have an extensive
Yes,
list of
of
coffee
course.
shops that I have vetted.
We'll put that on our Instagram.
Yes. Another thing that you can do when it's raining is check out department stores,
Oh, yes.
which is probably our favorite thing.
Yes, I was just at one yesterday.
There are quite a few in Paris. There's Le Bon Marché.
That's in the 6th.
Yes. And connected to that is La Grande Épicerie de Paris, which is like a grocery store on crack, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like very high-end, fancy, really
Imported.
specialty
Yeah.
foods.
Like the butter section is like an entire aisle.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they sell €100 salt at this
Yeah.
place.
It's amazing. And they have actually like sections also just for like different countries. And
Yeah.
I was there yesterday and it was quite depressing because you walk by the United States and it's like Reese's and like fluff and like
Reese's
Reese's peanut butter.
I say Reese's.
Reese's
Reese's.
peanut butter and fluff and like taco seasoning. That's how they view the
We
United
know what we
States.
like to eat in our culture.
But they have a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that is where I have been going to get all of my non-alcoholic liquors and things like that.
Yeah.
Because they have a really amazing selection. So that's something fun to check out if you want to find some specialty little things to bring back for
Absolutely.
friends, family, as gifts. I think it's a great place to pick some stuff up.
Yes. There's also Galerie Lafayette, which is in the 9th. And they have a
Mhm.
really beautiful rooftop and like stained glass ceiling.
Yes.
They also have like a little secondhand section as well as the like haute couture and like prêt-à-porter.
Mm-hmm.
Right next door, there's Printemps, which is another department store.
Yeah.
And of course, La Samaritaine, which is the newest one of all.
Yes.
Has been remodeled.
Right over by Pont Neuf. It was
Yes.
remodeled. It was under construction from 2005 until about 2 years ago.
Last year. 2 years ago.
I think is it 2 years now?
2021. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all super cute. All of them have their own little style, their
Mhm.
own experiences to offer. So you can really get lost in them for a few hours.
Absolutely.
And it's very nice to just kind of walk around while it's raining.
Yeah.
Um,
Something that we like to do or that we pop into here and there because there's a lot in our neighborhood are the passages couverts,
yes.
the covered passageways. Most of them are located in the 2nd, the 9th, and the 10th. I think there are also a couple in the 3rd as well.
Yeah, there's a few.
But I mean, they're all
They're all in Rive Droite,
yeah.
except for one.
yes. And I guess in 1850 or by 1850, there were over 180 passages, which is
Yeah.
insane.
Because
Like,
of how
so
rainy
cool.
Paris was.
Yeah, so it's basically just like a way to walk through. It's not underground or anything. It's just on the street level, but you can walk through and there are all these specialty shops inside.
Mhm.
But only 25 of them
Survived into the 21st century.
Yeah, so there are 25 and they have sort of each a different style
Mhm.
to them. which I think is really cool. And all these just really unique shops. Actually, one of my favorite knitting stores is in one of them.
Aw, that's
So
cute. It's just like a whimsical kind of
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, let's just cut through here really quick. And it's like either stained glass windows or just like skylights, beautiful, like Haussmann kind of style. So
And you'll always find something that you're not expecting in these.
You get lost in those.
Yeah. And it's like a good place to go if you really want to. I was saying this the other day to someone, but it's kind of hard because of globalization to like find something for someone that's like from Paris because you can get everything everywhere nowadays. But I feel like the shops that are in there is they're really a great place to go because they really are just unique, only in Paris specialty stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's like arranged between little shops or services or coffee shops or restaurants. So there's like a lot you can choose from.
Yeah.
And I think every single time I walk through and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a shortcut, but I always stop and like end up looking at 100 stores.
Yeah,
so.
kind of get taken back into the Belle Époque.
Yes. So we'll also list a couple of our favorites that are around. Another thing that is in... like to replace a museum experience, if you will, which is actually, I'm not a museum gal. I don't know why. It's just never been my thing unless it's like a special exhibit or exhibition or an expo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I really like visiting the Hôtels Particuliers in Paris, which are basically these gorgeous manors that used to belong to people like families where they used to live. And there is like an actual museum one called l'Hôtel du Carnavalet, which we've talked about before.
Yes.
But there are a ton around Paris, and they are gorgeous. And they're basically kept as is with like the original furniture. So if you want to see like what Paris looked like, what the homes looked like for people back then, for like the really well-off families, they all have like, they have the history of the families who lived there.
That's so cool.
What the houses had gone through, like what each room was used for, where their like china came from. Like there's all of these really cool facts. And it's something that like my dad loves doing when he comes to Paris. So I always do like a different one with him when he comes.
I don't think I've ever been to one really.
Oh, we should go. It's very cool.
Carnavalet but that's like more of a museum now.
Yeah, it's more on the history of Paris. And there are a couple rooms that are like still as is and kind of show you the different like eras of decor. But no, there's like some very beautiful like intact as is like homes. There's one right next to Parc Monceau. It's actually like the backyard goes into the park. We should go to that one because it's beautiful.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, if you're not a museum person, but you still kind of want to visit like the history of Paris and like what homes looked like in Paris back then, this is a really great way to explore them.
Another great thing, you can check out the Pantheon.
Yes.
There's like an indoor tour you can do. And then you basically can get up onto the roof area and see a gorgeous view over the city.
Might I say one of my favorite views of Paris?
Yeah, I agree.
Gorgeous view of Paris. It's 360. You can go all the way around. And Le Panthéon is not a museum, but it does have expos inside. Basically, it has a really pretty view at the top, so you should visit it. It's also a mausoleum for very famous people whom France decided were people who made the world a better place and France a better place.
Yes.
And around the corner from the Panthéon, which is in the 5th arrondissement, is the Jardin des Plantes, which you wouldn't think to go to on a rainy day because you'd think it's outside, like a garden.
Muddy?
Yes. But they do have covered greenhouses.
That's so cool.
There are a ton, like they're huge, so you can spend quite some time in there. There are greenhouses that basically store or house like lots of exotic plants, and I think each greenhouse is like a different plant
how cool.
series from around the world.
Wow.
So like there's like, jungle, rainforest.
How big are they?
They're really big. I don't know the size, but they're giant, like trees are in there. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're huge.
Yeah, they're huge. So on a rainy day, a very cool place to visit.
I want to do that now.
So yeah, Jardin des Plantes. And then there's also workshops around Paris that you can do, as in any city, of course. But maybe something special to do in Paris and bring back home are workshops that they offer such as creating your own perfume.
Yes, at the Musée de Parfum.
Yeah, there's a Musée de Parfum. And it's by Fragonard, I believe, the perfume, which is a French house. So you can use their, scents and ingredients. I was like, is ingredients the right word? You can also make your own lipstick. So like your own shade.
Cool.
You can also make your own bag, like a leather bag, and your own kind of style and color. And of course, you can do cooking classes or patisserie classes.
That's a very,
so learn how to make
French
a croissant
thing to do.
Yes. All great things to do on a rainy day. And I think, of course, our favorite is just to cozy up, grab an umbrella.
Yes.
And stroll around Paris, because under the rain, the crowds have cleared up. Not many people want to be out and about. And so you kind of get Paris to yourself. And the smell of rain and rain like hitting the Seine and just kind of like seeing kind of the grayness of Paris is like a very special, magical thing that like I feel like I've only ever experienced in Paris.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Midnight in Paris about the rain, and I don't remember it now, but it was like so good. Which you can also visit the church the church steps that they like sit at.
Oh.
When they're getting picked up in the little
Do you know I used
cab?
So the beginning of that movie is just, cityscapes of Paris and kind of like a yellow filter, just beautiful with this, French music behind it. And I used to just watch the first like 5 minutes of the movie back when I lived in the US. I would just watch this like first 5 minutes where they're just showing the city, and I would just like dream about being in Paris.
That's really cute. Like once you've experienced Paris in the rain, you can just imagine Paris hasn't really changed that much, right? Like when you look at old pictures of it, it looks the same. So you just imagine of like, people back then and like under the rain. I don't know. It's such a cool thought. And of course, the infamous Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
Paris smells its sweetest in the rain.
Oh.
Probably because it washes away all the crud. It doesn't smell that bad in Paris. There are certain corners like in every city.
Oh my gosh. Well,
transitioning
out of that. This weekend we're going to be pretty busy. Friday night.
Yes.
We're going out to this restaurant called Le Colimaçon. We're going out to Le Colimaçon. And one of my really good friends from college, Jane, is going to be here she's arriving on Thursday and is staying through Tuesday. So that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, we're going to do a raclette, which is once again, where, it's raclette season. So
it's raining. You can't tell me not to eat the cheese.
So we're going to do raclette and have a girls' night on Saturday.
Yes.
Which I think will just be really nice to have,
absolutely
some downtime with the girls.
Girls' nights are necessary.
When are we not having girls' nights? I guess we can just call them nights because they're always with the girls. They're never not with the girls. But
sometimes Jean is there.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in Paris in the rain, you have now a nice little list of things to do.
Yes.
That
also,
way you
if you do want to go to a museum, you can now go to the Fondation Louis Vuitton, which has a new exhibit. It was closed before. Now it's reopened with a Rothko exhibit. So if you're coming, check that out. I will be going on Friday with Jane.
Very nice. On that note,
à bientôt.
Au revoir.